blacktop. It's more than these white lines. It's more than just a living, y'all. It's my way of life. Just like my dad before me, I'm addicted to the road. Another day, another town, another long haul load. Slamming trucks, stop coffee down. Midnight, I'm Miami bound. 40 tons of Pennsylvania steel. I'll race the rain, fight the wind. This radio's my only friend. But Lord, you know I love the way it feels. Living life on 18 wheels. I love the new horizon, the change of scenery. Every day's different, that's what sets me free. Jamming gears and counting miles, crawling up these hills. I don't get tired of this grind, hell I guess I never will. Slamming trucks, stop coffee down. Midnight, I'm Miami bound. 40 tons of Pennsylvania steel. I'll race the rain, fight the wind. This radio's my only friend. Lord, you know I love the way it feels. Living life on 18 wheels.
Welcome, everybody. Sorry, I've been out for the last couple of weeks. Every time I get a new dose of medicine, it throws me in another whirlwind. And now that we're finding out that I am allergic to this crap, gotta love it. Got to love this stuff. Yay. All right, so we got some new things coming out tonight. As you've seen, I made that is the new exit video. I'm still in the middle of working on the new intro. I still have the original, but I figured I'd give you guys a little something different I've been playing with. Give you a new video, just change it up a little bit. Good evening, Mr. Michael. I'm glad you're here. Hello, my daughter, lovely Kayla. Love you. Glad you're here. And then we got lovely Miss Day. Good evening, everyone. Be praying that Kenworth can put my truck back together by tomorrow evening. Yeah, she needs some prayers because her fifth wheel, for some reason, screwed up on that brand new 2023 truck and it wouldn't release the trailer. So they had to be able to get a new fifth wheel for her truck so she can get out there and start making some money. Can't have drivers sitting not making any money. You guys got to make the money. You got to roll. You got to take care of family. You know how that goes. Yeah. Michael says, hope you're doing. Where'd it go? There it goes. Michael says, hopefully you are feeling good. I'm feeling fine right now, brother. I really am. Oh, yeah. And I got my Mayberry shirt on. Mr. Bottomley, one of our proud sponsors for this program. Tonight, we're going to get into a couple things. I got a new thing. Well, it's kind of new. It was released on February 9th, but no one's really paid attention to it. So I'm going to bring it to light. It's actually going to be really, really good. And then I also have another one. And that's another story we need to get into. So we got a couple stories going on. I want to thank everybody for all the birthday wishes and the cards and stuff that was sent. I did get a few of you guys' birthday cards that y'all have sent to me and stuff like that. I really, really enjoyed it and all the birthday wishes on the pages. I greatly do appreciate it. I want to give out a shout out to Gary Jones. That was his truck and his wife, both sit there in the beginning of that video, and then old Hater Maid, Mr. Jacob Bonham. Give out a shout out to him. I also want to give out a shout out to Josh Wayne. Him and his old lady were the ones that shot that video of Hater Maid coming through the West Virginia tunnels. So that was actually pretty cool. It's actually got Jake brakes running through it. I actually have more on the video, and I do greatly appreciate a lot of the stuff that they do, and I do give recognition where it is and where it belongs. The rest of the videos that you do see, I have done myself. I catch myself. Rain, snow, sleet, bright and sunny. I catch the videos. I do all the video work myself. I actually have the website. Seems like it's up and running, doing pretty good. I've had a few messages on it, so there might be some other things in the works. I'm working on having a special guest. He may not be able to come on right then and there for next weekend, but I do have something set up for y'all to give you some more details on some things that are coming up. So I have that. I'm trying to work and see if I can get a hold of him when I can get him to quit working on Gary Judge's truck. Just saying, Brandon Carpenter. I'm going to try to hit him back up. And I know he's busy. I know he's trying to put the Roadworks bumper and that back on the truck, trying to get it ready, trying to get Easy Money ready for Matt's, which I know is, yeah, less than a month, guys, less than a month. Match is right around the corner. And then after that's Wildwood. I will be at Wildwood. I will be down there. I will be at Wildwood. And I will be at Tony Justice. I will be at his, at Large Cars and Guitars at the Great Smoky Mountains. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I have gotten word there's stuff you guys do not want to miss. And we'll have Trucker G that's supposed to be showing up. Trucker G will be there. Frank G with Frank G Trucks is going to be there. From hopefully Shaggy from Shaggy Consultants will be there. Hopefully, not giving a full promise on that, but yep. But I do know, I think Long Haul Paul will be there again this year. Tony will be there this year. He's also got Aaron Tippin with him. So they'll be performing together and separate. So, like I said, there's a lot of good things coming out that's going to be coming out for these shows. And I will be trying to hit these shows. I've already dedicated. I will be going to Iowa 80 to Walcott. I will be also going to the Arkansas truck show. I'll get more details on it, but they are really wanting me to come out there, and they're looking forward to meeting me and Left Lane with Lefty and actually do some things with them. So, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on. My sister says she's headed out in the morning, so that means she's back doing hot shot again. Her and her hot shot self. Just saying. Michael says, picking up a Volvo 350 excavator going to Michigan. All righty. Was Auntie, she says, Auntie, be careful. Heading out. Love you bunches. Michael says, plus get old Murphy ready. That's right. I think he's getting Murphy ready too. I don't know if he's taking Murphy. Last I knew he was, but there might be something else that he's trying to finish up and take there to Matt, or he might be taking it. I know he will be there. He was invited back to Large Cars and Guitars in the Smoky Mountains. So I will see that brother there. I was trying to get a chance to go up for about 4 days to go to his shop and hang out with him and do some filming while he's working, trying to get Easy Money up and running and out the door. I just, with the medicine and stuff and these treatments, it's kind of got me thrown in a mixed loop here because I can be good for a few days and then I'm down and then I'm up and then I'm down, and it's like here, there. The day after, I'm like running at 100 miles an hour, ready to go, take on anything I can find. And then 2 days later, I'm dead in the water, and you have to get a herd of trucks to pull me out of bed. It's just the way it is, but I still fight it, and I still get up every day, go to work, and I do everything I can to try to be here for you guys, because without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So I do appreciate every single one of you, and I love you all. I really do. Miss Della Hoover says, VA to Michigan. Won't be ready to pick up until 11. Or no, that's Michael. Della Hoover says, Pooh, being a load of teddy bear to Florida. You're bringing a load of teddy bears to Florida. Hey, as you're speaking of that, I do have this guy in the back named Teddy Bear. I'll be bringing him on here in a minute, and we're going to go through some of this stuff and discuss what's going on. So we're going to jump into the topics. Michael says, real quick, let me get him on there. VA to Michigan VA to Michigan won't be ready to pick up until 11 a.m. All right, and Della says, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's good to see you, Della. I'm glad you all stopped in. I really am. I even see Mr. Donald Tillett. How you doing, sir? Good to see you in there watching. Jack Deltez. I think it's, Deltez. Glad to see you in here. Glad you for stopping by. And lovely Aunt Lisa is watching from her home. Thomas Dunkalux. I don't want to mispronounce it, but I do believe you're one of the guys. I know there's a couple of them. I got like 10 new guys from Australia that have joined the group and actually joined the page this week that have really, they've really got some stuff going on down there too. Them boys are really working it. And I appreciate them coming in and joining the show and actually being part of the page and the groups and getting involved. We do have page winners because every month I do on my Facebook pages for the main page itself. I actually have John Hardrich, which is ranch hand. He got first pick of the page. All right, so the group Left Lane with Lefty spaced out like you see it here. That is the one and only TC Dyer Transport. That's Dyer Transport's truck sitting there. He got pick of that one. And then on the other one, it's Left Lane with Lefty all together. The other group, that one right there is Jay Badass. He is actually on there with Comatose. He actually come in second place. So I put first and second place both up there. So they both do get highlighted. So they're both on all the pages. So if you guys, when I tell you or I announce time to do picks, that's what I'm looking for. I want all you guys. It don't matter if it's a Volvo Freightliner, Kenworth, Peterbilt, Mack, an old yellow, an old GMC, something. Send the best picks you got. Put them on there. We'll get people voting on them. Every like is a point. Every heart is 2 points. So, and we actually had a lot of fun because I thought I was going to be the one to have to make a tiebreaker on it. Good thing I didn't. I'm glad 2 other people joined in and voted the other one, so I didn't have to. So that was actually a really, really good deal. Let's see. Della says, I missed you, dude. It's been crazy. You ain't kidding. It's been crazy here too. I seen you had your picture with the old Kelly Shane there. I seen you caught up with him at a truck stop. Michael says, mention every word when I tagged follows in my post on Facebook earlier tonight. Yeah, I did see that, and I greatly appreciate it. And you did see my comment, and I did write back to you, and I told you I appreciate everything that you do because you do call when you get a chance, when you're not loading up a machine or taking one off or you're stuck somewhere for the night. You do give me a call, and you do sit there and go, hey, how you doing? Or you send me a text, hey, brother, how's it going? And I do appreciate all y'all doing that. I really do. Let's see. Becky says, hey, they need to start a show for hotshot trucks. Well, go ahead. Jump on it. I can tell you it ain't cheap. And you ought to know that. You ought to know that. All this is done by me. I haven't asked for anything. I will say Bottomley did support us last year for the last little bit of the quarter. So they did they got us they gave us fuel money to go down. They got us a hotel room for the Nacogdoches show. So they did do that. And they also put me in a cabin over here with Time to Shine with Evan, which you guys know who Time to Shine is. I was bunked with his guys over at a cabin because I was only going to be there for the day, and then it poured on Friday. So we couldn't do anything, couldn't get much out. But Saturday turned out a lot better, clear, A little colder because of the hurricane. But yeah, they actually said, hey, why don't you go and bunk with Evans guys? So I do appreciate it. So they did do a little bit and help us out last year. They did come in at the tail end of the shows, but yes. And if I would have known it, I would have asked Mitchell a long time before that, because he's like, dude, I would have loved to have been a sponsor long before that. So I'm hoping to look and to do a lot more this year with Mitchell and with Bottomley Enterprises as a sponsor. And my dear good friend, as you all know, Mr. Van Brown, Mr. Bullsnot guy, as everybody knows him. But yes, he's a dear friend. That man calls me, checks up on me, makes phone call. Hey, what do you need? You need me to come up there? Hey, I'll be there. Or hey, you need something? I'll send it to you. The man couldn't ask for any better friend or family. And now he tells me we're not friends no more. And I said, what? I said, what did I do to piss you off? And he goes, you didn't. We're family. Don't you know? Family helps out family. So that's my new older brother. It gets on to me and keeps me in line. It's just going to see how well that's going to turn out at the May 5th at Tony's show, because there's going to be, should I say, no adult supervision. So we're going to get ourselves into some trouble. Just saying. But we're going to have a blast doing it. And y'all get a chance, stop by, hit his booth, get the bull snot. I'm telling you, most of y'all already know it's the best product around. Like I said, and this right here is selling out like hotcakes. The Curable, he is selling out of it. He goes, I can barely keep it in stock. And if you guys are in the Tennessee area, you can pick it up at the Davy Crockett, which is the TA at exit 36 off of 81. You can pick it up there. They do have 4 or 5 of these in a glass case next to the fuel out desk. And you can go in there, ask for it, get it. And then if you go around the corner from the fuel desk, you'll see all the products. He's even got the aluminum bull in there and everything else that he produces. So just to let you know, the man's got great stuff. Great stuff. So I can't beat it. What's up, Gregory Bruce? What's up, my brother? Long time no here. Hey, I love the new race trailer. Proud of you, man. I'm glad you got your new race trailer. Is your race car done? Is the thing finally done? I know you've been working on it for the last couple of years, having it painted with the new motor put in it. Because you built that thing, you're having it built from the ground up. It's not something that you're just, I'm slapping something together. A lot of people don't know. Gregory Bruce is a second generation driver, running oval track, dirt track. I mean, his dad was Gregory Bruce Sr. That man was a legend on the dirt tracks, right along with Shane and his dad. His dad was a legend on the tracks too. That's back in the days when racing was racing. But yeah. But Greg's won a lot of trophies, and he's got a lot of stuff in the works. That boy right there can drive. I can tell you, the man was sitting there. One day we had to go out and pick up a car somewhere. Oh, we were headed to Eustis to go pick up a car. And we were driving along talking. He's got a broke arm at the time. And next thing you know, this idiot, I don't know why, just out of nowhere, just stopped right in the middle of the road. Here we are. We got this and a 16-foot trailer on the back. And all of a sudden, it's magic kicked in, whipping it around, didn't lose it, didn't hit the car, saved everything, kept on going. I'm telling you, the man that's a hell of a driver right there. This boy right here, and I can't call him a boy no more because he ain't no boy. But that man right there, Gregory Bruce, is one hell of a, and he runs open wheel modified. All right. So now his stepdad, which is Rick Lyons, has traded his late models and got a open wheel modified frame. Him and Greg put it together. I was there when they started working on it. Greg spent nights and hours, till 2-3 in the morning, working on that car, trying to get it positioned right, seats right, trying to get everything done right, getting where everything he needed it, where he wanted it, so it would be comfortable for him. and then turn around and then go right to work. I mean, there was some mornings, granted, not trying to call him out on it. There's some mornings he was grumpy to get up. But hey, who ain't when you've been up 3, 4 in the morning working on your race car, and then you got to get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock and be on a job? I mean, but the man is also one hell of a carpenter. That man right there will build you a bathroom. He will build you a kitchen. The man will build you floors. I've seen the man's work. If you go over on the Facebook, look up Gregory Bruce, you'll see a lot of his work. That kid is very, very, very talented. Beyond anything I have seen, I'm telling you, the man is very, very talented. And he's a hell of a race car driver and one hell of a good friend. Even though we didn't get along too well in the beginning, but yeah, me and him, we've it's now become, like brother situation. You argue back and forth, but it's normal. But I haven't done that in in about probably 6, 7 years. I've seen him a couple of years ago, but he was doing great, and the man's really taken off. And I give you all the props, Bubby. You got it, brother. Love it. Yeah. And as Michael says, true. We all are family. That's right. Yeah, we are all family, and that's the way it is around here. We are all family. Just like Mr. John Freese back there, Mr. Teddy Bear. So we're going to get into a couple of things, and this is about the emissions and stuff that's being pushed through as we're talking about now. So we're going to get into this real quick, and I'll pull it up, and we'll get into that. And I'll bring in Mr. John Freese if he's back there not sleeping. Hold on, are you awake, Mr. John? Sorry, I kept you back there for a while. Yeah, he may be back there just sitting. I'll know here in a minute. I know I seen him backing up his truck, and he was trying to do some things, so he might be out of the truck for the moment. All right, so we're going to get into this. Senate Republicans aim to abolish Biden's trucking emissions rule. Lawmakers introduced a joint resolution, and as you heard, joint resolution weeks before the rule is set to take effect. All right, so you guys know this is fixing to take effect. I think it's the end of the month. Washington Senate Republicans introduced a joint resolution on Thursday to overturn the Biden administration's recent emissions reduction rule for trucks that the lawmakers warn is too costly for truckers and consumers, which is no lie. The rule, finalized by the Environmental Protection Agency, which is the EPA, in December and set to go in effect as March 27th, sets strenuous new standards for nitrous oxide and other pollutants for heavy-duty trucks beginning no later than the model of 2027. All right, so they're still, if they can overturn all this and abolish it and get rid of it, it may even go back as of what we're dealing with now, and knowing that this stuff is already costing us way too much money. I mean, just for a cartridge filter is $10,000. I mean, if it gets clogged. And then you're looking at the igniters, the injectors, and $2-3 a piece. So by the time you're done, you could have rebuilt you a new engine, just in dealing with the emissions that's done on these trucks. Red flags immediately were raised by truck manufacturers. At least the truck manufacturers are getting involved. Large carriers and owner operators. Way to go, guys. Keep staying strong, owner operators, because that's what we need. More owner operators with the quality and techniques behind it. I mean, anybody can go out and buy a truck. Most of us can buy a truck and jump in it and call themselves an owner operator. But it takes time, skill to learn the business and being able to handle your finances, your billing, and make sure what your net worth is and what your actual worth of being treated as a trucker. Because if you don't, you're going to end up within 6 months being broke, out of a truck, out of a home, and you ain't going to have nothing to show for it. And I'm just speaking as it is the truth. Because if it was me, yeah, I would love to run out and buy me a truck. Sure in the hell would. But, you know, I don't have the capital to keep it running right now. I really don't. And being able to keep everything else, the insurance and everything else afloat, we all know it's you're just not going to be able to do it. Welcome in, Kevin Slater. Um, but like I said, it's just certain things you just ain't gonna be able to do. That's why the owner operators that we do have now, and not all of them drive Peterbilts, Kenworths, but there's quite a few that do drive Volvos, Freightliners that actually have big companies. Just look at the Gentrys. They have one or two Peterbilts, but the rest of it's all Freightliner, Freightliner Classics, Freightliner Cascadias. He don't like a Volvo because it looks ugly, but he knows they ride nice because why? Volvo does put air ride suspensions on the front of them. So as we're going to get back to this, now 34 Senate Republicans lead the debate. Led can't even talk. Led by Deb Fischer, a Republican out of Nebraska, are pushing back as well. The Biden administration is saddening the trucking industry with one enormous regulation that would jack the vehicle cost and hurt good-paying jobs, Fisher assured. This aggressive EPA rule, which will hit mom-and-pop truck operations the hardest, is also inefficient because it incentives operators to keep using older. It keeps incentivizing them to use older trucks, higher emitting trucks for a longer durations, a period of high inflation, and the supply chain discrepancies. The last thing this country needs is more expensive freight costs and fewer trucks. And that is no lie. Senator Roger Marshall and Republican registered Ken, said that the regulation would be particularly enormous in his home state, where he says 98% of the trucking companies operate 25 or fewer trucks. All right, so 98% of the trucks companies are running this in his state. So, you can't blame him. I mean, these guys are trying to fight back for us. And I'm not trying to be political here, but I'm actually looking at there is somebody that's willing to fight. And there's 34 senators plus a couple of House members that are joining on this group. Under the new rule, these small businesses will take the hardest hit from this rule that requires them to spend as much as $8,304 more per vehicle to be compliant. Marshall said, "This is yet another inflationary policy from the Biden administration that our economy does not need," which is true. Instead of using the traditional legislative process, lawmakers are attempting to fast track revacation of the rule by invoking the congressional. Man, my mouth is dry. Sorry, guys. The Congressional Review Act, which is CRA, a law that gives Congress a specified time period in which to submit and act on a joint resolution of disapproval. Since it has been enacted in 1996, the CRA has been used to overturn 20 rules, including 16 in the 115th Congress, which is 2017-2018, and the third in the 2017 Congress through 21-22. All right, so it has been invoked 20 times for this. So Hopefully everything will go right and they can get this thing straightened out. But because a joint resolution under the CRA can be vetoed by the president, that sucks. And that's where we got a problem with that too. He's going to veto everything that comes across the board. It don't matter if it's good or bad. Such resolutions may have or have been successful with a presidential administration. Party controls both House and Congress. Understand the changes of this passing pretty much zero. Lauren Smith, transportation policy analyst, told FreightWaves, and by the way, this is on FreightWaves. You can get this information. I'm just reading it word for educational purposes. Even if you can get both the House and the Senate to pass it, which is a heavy lift, Joe Biden would veto it. I suspect the reason for the Senate is tempting this is that they they want to show that their voters and donors they are fighting the administration and for new members coming in to show how much they disagree with Biden. This is what FreightWaves is. I'm just saying. I don't think that's all of it, but there's probably more to it. Senator Jim Rice, which is the registered Republican of Ohio, contends the move is at least symbolic. This sends a message to the Biden administration that it engrosses green energy policy that will hurt consumers, small business owners, and our still fragile supply chain. He said, if the CRA succeeds, Congress can stop this rule before it continues to do much damage. And on that note, that's what that is. And I'm sorry if I screwed that up, guys. I'm still a little tongue dried here. Well, let me bring this man back in. How you doing, Mr. Teddy Bear?
There you go. I'm doing just fine.
How you? So, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, even though I screwed that up, hold on. Before we get into those thoughts, let me get up into the comments because I have quite a few of them. Michael says, cost $235 just to replace 2 fouled sensors on my DPF filter. Yeah, you got that right, and that's a piece, not more, not for the 2. So you figure close to $500 just for 2 sensors. It's outrageous. And my good old buddy, the Raging Cajun from down in Louisiana, Mr. Glenn Clare Jr. What's up, my brother? Good to see you in here tonight. Oh, and another dear friend from Las Vegas, Miss Deborah Shields. What are you doing? Hello, my friend. Las Vegas baby here. That's what I thought. Hey. Easy on the Volvos now. I like mine. I know you like your Volvo. I like your Volvo. I even show your Volvo quite a bit on here, Just saying there, Mr. Glenn. Just saying. Felt like an old man Saturday after changing 4 sets of brakes and drum. Oh. Better you than me. Even though I would love to get out there and I would help you. Not a problem. I could do that. It just take me a little longer.
Has he been running that fast and he burnt out a set of brakes?
Oh, yeah. You know how he is. Brand new truck, brand new Landau, and then that new detach he's got. I'm telling you, he's burning up the highways. Don't know what to do with himself. Just burning them up. You know how that goes. That's how Michael is. He's just like a Glenn. He's like a Glenn Clay. He burns up the highway too. Just a shorter version. That's all it is. So what's your thoughts on that, Mr. Jones?
Well, I think it's all good. I think it's about time they come to their senses and try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I think there's many areas that they need to work on.
Well, that's the truth. We know there's a lot of areas they need to work on. So
I welcome it, and I hope that something happens. I just hope this is not just another fatal attempt, to try to pacify and do the right thing, but we definitely need this to happen.
Yes, we
And
do. This is something definite because if it's going to send, if it's got Congress and Senate's attention that this is about to send a lot of this stuff skyrocketing, it's going to be expensive if they're worried about it.
right.
It's not something like, oh, hey, well, we can just don't worry about it. We can just deal with this. We're good.
Well,
And
we
it
need
really
to start
all
taking.
that good.
Yep, we need to start taking it back, and we need to start putting it back into line because he tried to deny the fact that we have a crisis on our hands right now with the cost of living and everything else, but it's skyrocketed, and everything more that we would end up having to do is going to raise it that much higher. We're going to be more deeper in debt and more poverty and more people not being able to do the job.
And then we'll have to get more drivers, and then we're going to have to bring in more people from out of the country to be able to drive these trucks.
Which is a problem.
Which is just bringing in more of a foothold for something else to happen.
Right.
And Michael says it wasn't all my driving. I don't know, brother. You were the one that got that truck. I'm just saying it was a new truck, all that. And then you said the next brakes on the lift axle on the wagon and flip. Oh, so now he's got to do the wagon, the flip, and the lift axle. See, I'm telling you, he's the one burning up these brakes because he's running all over the country. He just says he ain't.
Has he got a Jake brake?
I think he has a bullhorn and he hangs his head out the window and goes, brrr. Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. He's doing the old Flintstone. Let's pedal the brake and drop her gear and let's make that awful sound. Yeah, I think that's what he does. Just picking on you, Michael. Ain't done it in a while, so yeah, gotta pick on you. Gotta pick on somebody. Father Time has already gone to bed. He went to bed before daylight, before it become dark. I can't pick on Scott that much. Scott's on his new thing and his new job, and he's loving life, and he's yeah. I don't want to hear about it that it wasn't new and it's a 2000. I know they didn't. You trying to tell me they didn't change the brakes on it since 2014? Really? No, I didn't say. We didn't say. We asked, did it have J brakes? We didn't say did it have a John Jakes with it. No, we already know there was no John Jakes. Love you, John Jakes. Just picking on you too. I haven't heard from you neither. But yeah, I got to pick on some of these guys. I got to pick on them a little bit because they're all getting ready to go to Mats. It's like the NASCAR 500, like the Daytona 500. It's the big event. It's a week-long event. If y'all can handle walking around and doing all that. I did that last year. That was a lot of walking. I think I walked probably 50 miles. And that's including walking from side to side and then walking out back and then around the horse stables and back around because they had to get back around the front because they couldn't go through the stadium because that's where they had the monster trucks and then not monster trucks but the truck pulls, the tractor pulls and that going on. So it was just like, oh my God. And then you had the concert hall. So yeah, just a little bit of chaos going on there. But hey, it was fun. I met a lot of people. I got to sit there and meet Dave Newland, which is another fan out of Illinois. He actually come down and hung out for a few hours. And that was nice to meet him and get a couple of pictures. Pretty good guy. And yes, a lot of good things come out of that. So, what are you doing, Mr. Teddy Bear? Are you running in the snow again this week, or is it rain?
You know what? We never had one bit of snow. I had seen a little bit of ice at one spot. I think on the way out, I did observe some ice and probably did a video on it by showing people what it looked like. Oh, coming down off a lookout, yeah. We had probably about a half an inch worth of kind of fluffy white snow and ice, and they were just cleaning it off the Idaho side. The Montana side was high and dry, and it was a good week out and a good week back. I'll have to say that.
Good.
So.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you didn't have to fight it. You didn't have to chain up or anything like that. I mean, it's good you didn't have to have the bad weather like we've had the last, over the last couple of months. With being bright and sunny, and then all of a sudden, massive snowstorms coming through and bad weather. Oh, hold on, Glenn. You're leaving us like that? Oh, I don't think so, brother. I don't think so. Well, you all have a good one. Be safe out there. If y'all are on that road, it's about time for bed for me. I know. You're just as bad as Father Time. I'm telling you, Glenn. You're getting old. I'm just saying, you've been taking lessons from that other goofy guy that drives that green KW. Yeah, I think you've been watching him too much. You gotta watch it.
And they're all younger than I am.
I'm telling you, you're up here running day and night, and yeah, I'm telling you. And you've been doing it for a lot longer than they have too. That's what's funny. Yeah, that's what's funny. Michael says his boss has a full plate. Boss has a full plate, so me being able to take care of my own is a bonus for him. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, taking care of your own truck. There really isn't. I mean, this man right here does it too. Only thing is, just remember to put the brake drum back on when you're done there, brother. That's all I'm saying. Just saying. Just make sure you put the brake drum back on before you put the tire. Because if not, it don't stop very well. Just saying. Just saying. Love you, Glenn. My back and my leg are hurting. Getting old and stiff sucks. Yeah, hey, I know that feeling. I know that feeling, brother. But like I said, hey, like I said, Michael, this guy down here, this one right here that popped in, that one right there, I'm just saying, just remember to make sure you put the brake drum on before you put the tire. Just saying. Works better that way when you go to stop. Yeah. Yeah. Just saying. And I'll have to get a hold of Justin. Call him old Dustin the Wind because he only pops up every now and then. Old Justin Williams. Yeah. I ain't heard much from him neither. He's been busy working nights playing with his Mac. Oh yeah, don't forget the rollers. Yeah, he's driving a Mac. He sold his truck. It's now over there running with Dennis. Dennis's boss bought it, and it's been over there running. No need for drums. It's not a band. It's a truck. Gotcha. Funny. You're good. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. Hey, there's our buddy from Australia, Mr. Josh Bolton. Good evening, sir. I am feeling well tonight. I will say tonight. Yesterday I felt all right. I did some studying. I was trying to catch up on some of this stuff and going over it. I brought it out here for everybody else to see. And yeah, I'm glad you stopped back in. I'm glad it's daytime over there and it's nighttime here. So it must be early in the morning for you. Or is it about 2 o'clock? Something like that. I know the time frames in there is off. But I do appreciate you stopping in and hanging out. But yeah, with things that are going on with that, I really do hope they do get it. And I understand that he might abolish it, but that would be really nice if we can actually get it pushed through. Because if we can get it pushed through and get it passed on the House and the Senate, that would be great. Because later on, they can always bring that bill back up and push it through with a different president and see what happens. Well, hey, Michael, when you put the brakes back together, did you even put the pads on it? Because if you forgot the rollers, or the Springs. I don't know. I think Glenn did a little better job. Josh, Mr. Josh says it is 1 p.m. over there. So 9 o'clock our time is 1 o'clock their time, p.m. Which is not bad. Not bad. On that note, hang on out with me. I gotta put a brand out there real quick. And this is from one of our fellow sponsors.
We're the last of the camel. There are folks out here who still take pride in their everyday ride. Those who know if a job's worth doing, well, it's worth doing right. Bull Snot. Great products for real people.
And I'm going to tell you something. Hey, just to let you know, Josh, I know you're down in Australia. Hopefully, sometime in the middle of this year, I have been given some information. You should be able to get Bull Snot in certain locations in Australia. Just letting you know, it is branching out. So what we talk about, which when you come over, because I guess you're going to be here for Matt's, or you're going to try to be here for Matt's. And during that, you'll actually get to meet Mr. Van, because he will be at Matt's this year. He's got his own booth and set up again like he did last year. He will be at Matt's this year. So you'll be able to check out the products. You'll be able to see them, see how it goes. Had a long, let's see what Glenn says real quick. But yeah, you'll be able to pick them up. But he did inform me that he working on getting them in Australia too. So you'll be able to pick them up over there, which is a good plus for all you guys. Glenn says, I had a long day and night, and Justin Williams' stash was disturbing. I'm sorry. I couldn't help that. I know. He was leaning over, tickling places it shouldn't have been. You know, I feel for you, Glenn. I feel for you. I really do. I really do. I do. Josh says, I forgot what state, but there's a state in America that's trying to ban all trucks from the left lane. I believe that is California, and there's another state. There's actually 2 states that are got it working through their system right now that are trying to ban trucks from the left lane because it's saying it's safer to allow cars, because if they lower the speed limits, it's safer. There's a state right now that just lowered their speed limits for trucks, and they just lowered the speed limit because they said it was safer for weather conditions and everything else, and that's what they're going to try to keep it at. So there is a state that's now down, I think it's 60 for trucks, 55 or 60. I know here in Tennessee, I wish they would up the speed, because coming through certain parts of 81, you can run 65, 70, and then it drops to 55 on the last, I don't know, probably the last 40 miles before you get out of state. And then once you hit Virginia, you're at 70 mile an hour. You too, Glenn. I'm glad you stopped in. I will be doing a show next week. I promise. Fingers are crossed that we will be having a show next week. So I don't see where there'll be a problem. And I also know there won't be a football game on. And I'm sorry for you guys that are wanting to watch the football game and then trying to listen to me. I wasn't really paying attention that the football game was on, the Super Bowl. So I do apologize. But I know I have to get on here and let you all know how I'm doing and being able to, get your guys' side of view on things and what you guys think. Because when you guys put it in the comment, I'll read it and we can go from there. And that's what I like about having the dialogue. All right, Josh says, yeah, I'm trying to get the mat. Yep, that's in Kentucky. Michael says, had a drum on Saturday, looked down and saw new rollers on the floor, laugh out loud. At least I didn't have it buttoned up. Was a lot, or lost a set of brakes. Yeah, hadn't buttoned up, or was a lost Yeah, the last set of brakes. My bad. Last set of brakes. Well, it's a good thing you realize the rollers were in the drum. I mean, just saying. They're usually in a plastic bag with the rollers with a couple of springs in it. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, it says he's trying to get the match. Michael says, look at Ohio as soon they raised the speed limit. They raised the speed limit. Crashes. Yes. If you do, traffic can move better. People can move around in areas, and trucks won't have to be jammed up. I get out here when it's 55. I mean, I could be sitting behind 15 trucks, and they're all trying to get out around each other. But when they see a DOT man, they're stuck there for 20 minutes trying to do 60 passings 55, and it just don't work very well. Go ahead, John.
Well, and I really want people to start thinking about this dual speed limit, because the dual speed limit does kill more people, and it causes more road rage. And as far as I'm concerned, states like Montana, North Dakota don't have quite as many accidents out there with the truck traffic.
Yeah, look at Texas.
Because of the dual, that they don't. You don't have that dual speed limit, or we're running the same speed.
Yeah.
I'm totally against the dual speed limit, because I know it kills more people, because that's when the people get stupid.
Yeah, I think the reason why they do it is so they can get tickets on people, on truckers, and it's ridiculous to be running 55 mile an hour. I mean, I can understand if you're running an oversized. Yeah, you're going to be running that anyways. You're not going to be doing anything stupid. You're going to be running at about 60, 65 and keeping an even pace, where other trucks could be doing 70, 75 and going around you, getting out of your way and having the roads cleared.
Yeah.
I understand that 100%. But when you got the state, which is weird, because once you get past, I think it's once you get past exit 36, headed west on 81 towards 40, it's 70 mile an hour. And it's all the way down 40, all the way that way. It's just like this stretch here. They haven't changed it. It's like, all right, you want trucks to go up the hill. You've got 3 lanes here. But, if you let them do 70, I mean, at least they're going up the hill at 60 and not 45. You know what I mean?
Well, and again, it is about the speed. Once you get that speed up there, you can hold it up there at the higher RPMs. But when you start dropping it down into the lug pattern and you lose that speed, you can't hold it. You end up having to drop down another gear or so. So then you create more of a backup and more held up traffic, which really pisses off the 4-wheelers that much more. I mean,
or other
really,
truck
driver, if we were to put a camera over there, or somebody sitting over there, beautiful seat cover over there, and was filming it, you would see what goes on and how these people think.
Oh yeah. I mean, I see it. They see it. They know what's going on, and it's like I seen it every day. I was running down 26. I was doing 80. Speed limit 65. I'm running 80, running with the flow of traffic. I had a guy behind me flashing his lights, and I'm like, dude, I'm doing 80. I'm already almost 20 over the speed limit. So I go up to 85 to get up enough to get over in front of the car in front that I was passing, and I'm still running 80. The guy pulls up to me and shoots me a finger and says, "Stay the hell out of this lane. You're going too slow."
Yeah.
And then takes off, and he's doing 100 mile an hour, running.
Yep.
Straight up. And then when I get off my exit, where's he at? He's sitting at that exit. He was sitting there at the red light. I made my right-hand turn. And I'm like, really? For you to do 100 mile an hour, burn that extra fuel, and here I am. I'm doing 20 less than you, and I still get to the same red light, and I still make my turn before you. It makes no sense. Let's see what John says. Josh says, I have been meaning to ask you guys, are ask you guys, are in the show truck scene, whatever happened to the guy who went to truck shows and he done the Roland CB interviews on YouTube? Haven't seen him in a while. Are you talking about Asian Mai, Mother Trucker? If not him, it's the other one, and I haven't seen him in a while neither. I don't know if he something happened to him, or maybe because of COVID. I don't know. I haven't seen him on there neither, and I see Alex on there sometimes when he's in there posting. He's doing a lot more reels and stuff, but he's doing short stories to make it easier for him to get it out there. But yeah,
Right.
A lot of them are doing short stories. It's easier and more views at a time. Like where I'm doing my show, they tell me the market on this is in between the minimum of 10 minutes, no longer than an hour. You know,
Right.
there's times I do go a little longer because a lot of guys, oh, Big Rig. Oh, you're talking about Chris, Big Rig Videos. You're talking about Chris. Chris has got some things going on. I know he's been working on getting his, yes, Chris. Yep, Big Rig Video. That's who he's talking about. Yep, Chris. Chris is, I might see him at Wildwood and see what's going on, and I'll ask him. But yeah, he's been doing some things. He's also got his new marketing for his shirts. He's also with, you got Big Rig Videos, then you got Big Rig Tees. And I think maybe him and someone else has come partners in a deal. So he might be tying himself into that. So I don't know. But I will get you some answers, though, Josh. If not, you might be able to see him there at Matt's. If not, ask Alex. Alex would know more because they're almost neighbors right now. So, yeah. That would be the answer on that question. So, but yeah, and it's things I'm trying to do, and with me trying to do a little shorter time. I know I'm shorting you guys. You guys like to have me on here for a little while, and you get to talk and hang out. But I'm also trying to shorten it up so I get more views, more people to see it. Trying to get it out there so we get more people on YouTube. And I appreciate everybody that's gone over there to YouTube to subscribe. I mean, it's free, don't cost nothing. Because that way, if Facebook does like it did the last time and decides to have an issue and we can't broadcast from it, I'm still broadcasting from Twitter and YouTube, no matter what. They haven't shut me down. They don't do that. Just Facebook does it every now and then because someone else from another country sees it, don't understand the language, and they end up having an issue with it. Yeah. So, and I know Josh went and subscribed last time we were on. He subscribed to YouTube. He was watching it over there too. And you can go back on YouTube and see all the episodes because they're all lined up, plus my videos. And I got to put some more short videos on YouTube again. Got to get them back up there so I get more recognition. I did notice that we have gotten more recognition in the last 15 days on Facebook. They've actually sent me a notice that we are now in a broader stance of group. The last show was, I think the numbers was 26,000. 10,000 were watching it during the duration of the show. Was in between. It was like 5 different countries, but it was a total of 8 to 10,000 people watching it one time, between an hour to 2 hours between a 2-hour show. So that's what's been going on there. And yes, good evening, Mr. Roger McDuck, my brother from another mother. I'm telling you, that truck turned out awesome, Roger. It really, really did. Roger McDuck is his green machine that he's got sitting in his driveway is a beautiful machine too. And then he just did some work on another truck, and I won't give the details. I'll let him give out the details on that. But I do like that purple and green. That actually turned out really, really awesome. And it's a sharp looking truck. Great work. Love it. Michael says Facebook is a joke sometimes. Hey, you ain't kidding. I mean, it can be. It has its ups and downs. But I do see a lot of the numbers. A lot of the numbers. If I had the numbers that I get here from Facebook over on YouTube, my God, I'd be doing pretty well. I actually be doing really, really good. I know my numbers is like anywhere from 130 to 150, but if I had the numbers and the views that I have here of people watching over there in between 15 to 20,000 at a time, dude, I could just imagine how well this thing would blow up. And like I said, it's all in it for me. I ain't asking nobody for nothing. And I try to do my best and bring you all a good show and keep you all occupied and watching and trying to come up with some new topics, new stuff. Like I said, next week or next weekend, like I said, I have a gentleman. I ain't giving out the details, but hopefully we'll be getting a call this week. We will be doing and I might have to do a pre-recorded interview, and then I'll play it on the show. But that's really going to have a really good interview. I also have Van Brown coming on from Bullsnot to talk about some of the stuff that he's got going on and what he's doing for mats and where you can find him and all that good stuff. I know you are, Michael. You're just picking. I know you're just picking that guitar or that tire string because you know that tire's bald. That's what it is. You're picking that tire wire. Bing, 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 bing. Ain't seen him. Still haven't seen my video from our meeting in Mandarin, Mississippi. You haven't seen it? Oh, you know why? I have to go into TikTok live and then I'll have to download the video and then I'll put it up. But yeah, that's where it's at. I knew I was missing something. I thought it was already up, but since you've already been over there looking, I will have to go into there and pull it out of the lives and then download it because I got a couple others that I have live with other people on TikTok that I need to pull off of there and put on the program and get those done. And I like the way StreamYard is doing things now because if you look at the bottom underneath my name over here, right there, ding, 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 ding. It says founder of LLWL. That is the actual company name. It is LLWL, which is Left Lane with Lefty. That's just abbreviations. So it lets you know that I am the founder, and I really like the way they do that. They actually put who I am, which is actually turning out really good. Let's see here's something John knows a little more on. I know you guys have e-logs now. I got pulled over on Friday and I got bent over by the RMS. It's our DOT. I got a $750 fine for a misspelled word. And I forgot the time and date. A few pages like, who is that trying to save on the roads because now I am going to speed to try to make up the money I got that I lost. Be lucky you guys don't have logbooks anymore. Oh, trust me, they want to go back to logbooks. If they could, they would love to go back to logbooks because then we don't a whole different ball game with the hours than what they're doing with the e-logs. Would you like to explain a little bit on the e-logs, John, since you had to learn them and now you deal with them?
Well,
Give him a little.
It's basically the same thing as a logbook, other than it's electronic and there is no fudging and so on and so forth. But I've never heard them ever get anybody for misspelling. In fact, I got pulled over last week, made $50 on the deal to have a inspection done just on my ELD. And as far as I'm concerned, they're not that picky about it. I mean, I know that I could have found all kinds of little mistakes on there.
Yeah.
But they're not that picky. They just look at it. They see that you're using it. They can see that that it's keeping track of time, that you're not breaking the rules, and that you're following it because you don't have a bunch of red flags flying on it. And they still know that we're having problems with the ELD causing some malfunctions. So
Yeah.
it's obvious that that's still going to be an issue for a long time yet, because they're not a perfect fit.
No, and then you can't shut down the clock like you can on paper.
No. You know, what I used to like was, and I'll have to say that I was a bad guy.
Hold on real quick. All right, Michael, you have a good night, brother. I'll hear from you sometime tomorrow or Tuesday or something. I'll give you a shout. You have a good night, and we'll see you around, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, I might have broken the rules a little bit by stretching things, and I backlog things, or I go in there and change my logbook when I had it on a computer. But I loved a computer because a computer would make sure that you didn't have any flags, made sure that you didn't do anything wrong. It would warn you beforehand, and it would warn you afterwards. So if you had a little problem, you could fix a thing, you know, and you had a clean record, and it was easy. But again, we were classified as falsifying logbooks only to drive safe, to be a safe driver. And I still have a problem with that, because my feeling is falsifying a logbook, if you're only still putting in the XYZ numbers in, legal hours of service in, it shouldn't matter how they were put in. Whether you use a 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 8 and 3, 8 and 2, or 7 and 3, it shouldn't make that much problems. You know, my problem is when you're tired, you get out behind the wheel and you go to sleep. Yeah. You're a lot safer driver than you're pushing it because your ELD says you have to push it.
Yeah, we're right on that.
And that's my thought and feeling is, and I will stay saying the same thing for the rest of my life, because as far as what I'm concerned, falsifying the logbook doesn't mean you're a bad driver or you're an unsafe driver.
But do you prefer paper or do you prefer the e-log? No.
I do like the e-log right now because it does keep track. It does mean a lot less writing, but I prefer the computer logbook service that we had that was paperless, you know.
Yeah.
Because that one you could alter and change and whatever, you know. If I wanted to take an extra 4-hour break, I wasn't penalized for taking a 4-hour break, you know.
Gotcha.
My thing is, I'm a better nighttime driver than I am a daytime driver, and it's because of the lighting. I mean, nighttime, you give me good headlights, I'm good to go. I can drive all night long and never feel tired. But you give me in the middle of the day and that light's sitting just right, coming through that damn windshield.
Yeah.
There's times I need to get out from behind that wheel. So.
I can understand that. So, all right. On that note, you going to hang around for a few minutes, John?
Yep.
All right, guys. We got to most of what we were going to talk about. I did have another story to come up with, but it's going to be a little bit longer, and I don't want to put everybody in a bad attitude or a bad mood. It is Sunday. Everybody is watching the football. Same here. Love nighttime driving. There's not much traffic. That's what Josh says. He loves driving at night, which I don't blame him.
Exactly.
It's a lot less traffic. You can roll down the window, get cooler air too, especially in Australia. You guys are dealing with some heat right now. You're in wintertime, but I've been watching a lot of the stuff that's going on down there with the Mega Mechanics that you guys have down there on one of their shows. And they are doing 2 of the coal mines down there. And they really, that heat can be awful. But on that note, I will see you guys next weekend. No, we are still in. Well, I'm sorry. Then you're still in summer. They ain't hit winter yet. All right, my bad. So yeah, he's still dealing with the heat. So it's easier at night. You can roll down the window, get a little bit cooler air if it drops, and dealing with that stuff. But on that note, I will see you guys later. Anything you got to say, John? You want to tell everybody good night? And
Well, I'd like to say, bless my brothers and sisters of the highway. Be careful. Be good. When the weather's bad, slow down. Stop and smell the roses. And may God shine his glorious grace upon you and lift your hearts and souls. Amen.
Yep. Roger McDuck, I will holler at you tomorrow. I need to talk to you anyways and see how things are going with you. I know we talked a little bit on Messenger, but that really ain't much. But I'll give you a call tomorrow and holler at you. I appreciate you saying good night to everybody. All right, John, I'm going to pull you out, and then I'm going to get on my little spill, and we'll get out of here real quick. On that note, I do appreciate y'all stopping in. Yeah, I did cut it down to 1 hour and 11 minutes. I'm just trying to make sure I'm staying full of energy because if not, I get tired. And I don't want to get tired, and I don't want to be rambling. And I know I have other stuff that I need to be talking about, but we're not going to get into that tonight. But next week's show is going to be really good. I'll have a couple of good things going on with that, and I'll throw it in. We'll do that. I'm also going to do just strictly Facebook on a couple of shows. So I'll be doing 2 shows. Hopefully, I'll be doing one on YouTube, which is the main event. And then on Facebook, I'll be doing separate because Facebook, I can go longer. The longer I go, the better it is. So it works out better that way. On YouTube, I'll be doing about an hour show on it. So you'll catch some information there, and then I'll bring it over here to Facebook, and we'll go in there and have more fun. We can chat with it, joke with it, stuff like that. Just trying to bring it up more professional and being able to keep myself in the good spirits. All righty, guys. I love y'all. I'm glad y'all stopped in, even on a football night. Just saying. I know it's the Super Bowl tonight, and I do appreciate you all stopping in and hanging out with me and enjoying the show, which is nothing wrong with that. And on that note, y'all have a good night. Your drivers be safe. Have a good day at work tomorrow. And or if you're running tonight, be safe tonight and keep the sunny side up, rubber side down. Love y'all. Hammered down left lane.
Truck drivers don't talk about how hard it is to walk out the front door, knowing it could be weeks before we see our families again, or how we promise our kids we'll be back when we know there's a chance that we may not. Calling up an old friend to talk about old times, but all they want to talk about is last weekend when you were 1,000 miles away. Working a long 14-hour day, backing in and shutting down. Open up social media just to see family and friends gathering. Makes you feel like life could go on without you. These are the burdens that we bear.